Oh, gadzooks, odd bodkins, and scour my scales. What are all you children doing sitting around your phonographs? TV gone glimmering or some such? Well, as long as you're here and listening, I presume I'll tell you about myself. Nothing I'd rather do. I'm a dragon, you see. Oh, don't be frightened. I'm really harmless. It's just that I look so fierce that people expect something awful. It goes to show you that looks can be deceiving. It's what's inside that really counts. Oh, I'll admit I sound pretty terrible, too. Now, you take my raw. The day I hatched out of my pretty little egg, the first thing my mother told me to do was to try my raw. So I tried, and it sounded like this. Oh, she was horrified. That will never do. It's a disgrace to the whole family. You'll have to begin practicing at once. Now, listen to me. So I began working hard on my roaring. Oh, I practiced an hour a day, and after several hundred years, I got pretty good at it. Like this. Now, another of my little tricks is this. The way I do that is to use my left wing to rub along the spiky scales on my back. And what do you have? Another scale, of course. Oh, but this time it's a musical one, like you kids practice on the piano or the harmonica or whatever other musical instrument you're learning to play. Forgive me if I brag a little, but one of the best things I do is this. Those bells are on my tail, you see, and when I give them a good shake, they do cause a commotion, don't they? I love to sneak up on people and ring my bells and watch them jump right out of their skins. Ooh, naughty, isn't it? Now, the most important thing of all is my breathing fire and smoke. I don't just breathe ordinary fire. I breathe fireworks, sparklers, Roman candles, and big skyrockets. Oh, listen to this. Now, not all dragons are fierce, or even fierce-sounding. Listen to this little song about a very reluctant dragon. Now, one fine day, while on my way to Ipswich by the sea, I met a rather charming chap who asked me into tea. Now, it seems he was a dragon. You know, the kind with wings. Oh, yes, teeth and tails and claws and scales and all those dragon-like details. Now, I admit, I jumped a bit when he began to sing.
I'm the reluctant dragon, what ho, quite so. The very reluctant dragon, oh, very, very, don't you know? They call me the timid dragon. What rot. I'm not. I just won't fight, I'd rather play. I know I shan't get hurt that way. Here we go gathering nuts in May. Oops, I'm reluctant.
Now, after we had sipped our tea, a thought popped in my head. A dragon here? By Jove, that's queer. He really should be dead. I say, look here, I said. Aren't you a bit extinct? And then the blighter gave a cry, heaved his bosom with a sigh, wiped a teardrop from his eye, and then blushed and coyly winked. Oh, dear.
I'm the reluctant dragon, what ho, Quite so. The very reluctant dragon. Oh, very, very, don't you know? They call me the timid dragon. What rot. I'm not. When others fight, I run away. It's just because I'm built that way. I'm to be queen of the May today. Whoops, I'm reluctant.
And then he told of knights of old. Oh, it seems they were the bunk. They barged about in suits of tin and other sundry junk. The maidens fair with flaxen hair just simply littered up the place. And when they asked him into tea, which happened jolly frequently, oh, he would sigh reproachfully and put them in their place. Oh, dear.
I'm the reluctant dragon. What ho? Quite so. The very reluctant dragon. Oh, very, very, don't you know? They call me the timid dragon. What rot. I'm not. I'm much too shy to bill and coo. So you chase me and I'll chase you. Roses are red and violets are blue. Oops, I'm reluctant.
Well, as the night wore on, we talked till dawn of, many, many things. Of fish and chips and cricket bats and kidney pie and kings. Now at break of day, I slipped away for Ipswich by the sea. And no matter where I am, in Piccadilly or Siam, now when I have my tea and jam, this song comes back to me like this.
I'm the reluctant dragon. What ho? Quite so. The very reluctant dragon. Oh, very, very, don't you know? They call me the timid dragon. What rot. I'm not. I just won't fight, I'd rather play. I know I shan't get hurt that way. Here we go gathering nuts in May. Oops, I'm reluctant.
Maybe you'd like to know something about dragon history. Now, the first thing you must realize is that we dragons have been around this old world a whole lot longer than human beings have. They say it was a wonderful place in the old days before men were here, when my great 1,000 times great-grandfather, the dinosaur, was ruling the roost. Oh, of course, the dinosaurs didn't have the advantages that we dragons do. Oh, no. They were for real. While, well, I'm a figment of somebody's imagination. Now, if you don't believe me about dinosaurs being real, go down to your museum and maybe you'll find a big dinosaur skeleton all wired together by some scientist. Oh, now, I wouldn't let anybody lay a hand on me or my skeleton. I'd just disappear, and no flesh and blood thing can do that. Oh, I know. Kids can run and hide and almost disappear, but you and I know they're really there, under the table or behind the curtain. When I disappear, I really vanish. Oh, but I'm getting off the subject now. Where was I? Yes, my ancestors. Well, the dinosaurs left this world because the great ice age came along, and they just couldn't cope with all those giant ice cubes called glaciers. Pretty soon, man showed up on the scene, and he found some of the dinosaur bones, and they were so big they scared him to death. And so he began imagining what the dinosaurs had really looked like. Oh, you have to hand it to man. He really began using his brain early, and that's how he got where he is today. Oh, it's one thing to think, but it's another thing entirely to do the kind of thinking they call using your imagination. So man began imagining dragons. And you know, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here today. Oh, and I'm very glad to be here, talking to you today. You see, oh dear, what was my subject? Oh, yes, my ancestors. Oh, I keep getting off the track. Now, my forebears divide into two groups, the Eastern dragons and the Western dragons, and they are quite different, you know. Yes, the Eastern dragons are imagined by the Chinese and the Japanese, and they're wonderful fellows, full of wisdom and hidden knowledge. My Eastern grandfathers were kings and very rich, and they ruled the seas and the rain. Oh, we dragons are very important in China and Japan. You'll see pictures of us everywhere, in tapestries, on potteries, in paintings, and, oh, we're much looked up to, though not as much recently as it used to be. Now, my Western grandfathers, however, I don't like to talk about too much. They are the black sheep of the dragon family, cruel, evil, always attacking man, or at least trying to scare him to death, by George. Oh, that's a joke, but not a very good one. For the man who probably fought more fights with my Western grandfathers than anybody was called St. George. Now, just about the only way to tell an Eastern dragon from a Western one is that we Westerners have wings, while the Eastern dragons just ride around on clouds. I'm a Western dragon, as you can see, but I'm rather lazy and I don't fly very much. Now, if you children will try to use your imagination a little, I'll tell you how you can make a do-it-yourself dragon right in your own home. It will take at least 3 kids to make a proper dragon, so if you don't have any brothers or sisters, you'll have to round up some friends. You see, you need a head, a middle, and a tail. If you can enlist more than 3 children, you can have more middles than 1. Here's what to do. Now, first, find at least 3 very large paper bags or cartons. Then get out your paints and decide what color your dragon should be. Now, I'm green myself, but dragons come in many different colors, so use your imagination. I know of at least one that's polka-dotted. Oh, dear. You should draw a very fierce head on the first box, and then a middle with spiky scales on the second box, and a pointed tail on the third box. You can use my picture as a model if you want to. I'd like that. If you want to really be like me, add a cowbell to the tail. And then make some eye holes in the head box so you can see out. Link the boxes together with some string. Put a kid's head inside each box, and presto, you are a do-it-yourself dragon and can walk right out and frighten your parents. Now, sometimes dragons play with little boys and girls and have great fun. Oh, but then the kids grow up and don't play anymore, and, oh dear, the dragon gets very lonesome. That's what happened to Puff, the magic dragon.
Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Little Jackie Paper loved that rascal Puff and brought him strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Oh, Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
Together they would travel on a boat with billowed sail. Jackie kept a lookout perched on Puff's gigantic tail. Noble kings and princes would bow whene'er they came. Pirate ships would lower their flags when Puff roared out his name.
Oh, Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
A dragon lives forever, but not so little boys. Painted wings and giant rings make way for other toys. One gray night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more. And Puff, that mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar.
Oh, Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
His head was bent in sorrow. Green scales fell like rain. Puff no longer went to play along the cherry lane. Without his lifelong friend, Puff could not be brave. So Puff, that mighty dragon, sadly slipped into his cave.
Oh, Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
Now, there are lady dragons as well as gentleman dragons, but some of the lady dragons don't act very ladylike. Oh, there was one old girl who really was a tricky one. She showed up in a story called Sword in the Stone, which was about King Arthur when he was a boy nicknamed Wat. Now, Wat was turned into a sparrow and fell into Mim's house, and this led to a wizard's duel between Mad Madam Mim and Merlin, the great sorcerer. Here's how it happened.
With only a touch, I have the power, zim zabberim bim, to wither a flower. I find delight in the gruesome and grim.
Oh, that's terrible.
Thank you, my boy. But that's nothing for me, because, you see, I'm the magnificent, marvelous Mad Madam Mim. Know what? I can even change size. I can be huge, fill the whole house. I can be teeny, small as a mouse. Black sorcery is my dish of tea. Come easy to me. I'm the magnificent, marvelous Mad Madam Mim. I can fly through the air, and I don't need a broom. Oh, I just take right off with a zip-zabberim zoom. I'm the magnificent, marvelous Mad Madam Mim. Say, lad, do you know that I can make myself uglier yet?
That would be some trick.
You want a bit? Bow! You see, I win! Ain't I a hideous boy? Perfectly revolting.
Well, yes, ma'am.
I can be beautiful, lovely and fair, silvery voice and long purple hair. La 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 la.
But it's only skin deep for Zim Zabber and Bim. I'm an ugly old creep, the magnificent, marvelous, Mad Madam Mim.
Archimedes discovered the wart had landed at Mim's house and told me immediately. So I marched over and changed Wart back from a sparrow to a boy. Well, Mim was furious because she had changed herself into a cat and was just about to eat Wart when I arrived. So she challenged me to a wizard's duel. And to protect my honor, I agreed.
Now, first of all, if you don't mind, I'll make the rules.
Rules indeed. Why, she only wants rules so she can break them.
I'll take care of you later, Featherbrain. Rule 1. No mineral or vegetable, only animal. Rule 2. No make-believe things like pink dragons and stuff. Rule 3, no disappearing.
Rule 4, no cheating.
All right. Now, pace off then. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Merlin, she disappeared.
Mim, now blast it all, you made the rules.
Merlin, she's changed herself into a crocodile. She's behind you.
Uh-oh. Merlin's so out of practice with his magic, he's turned himself into a turtle. Oh, he's so slow. Mim will catch him and eat him in one bite.
He's changed into a rabbit. He's a rabbit. He just got away.
But she's now a fox. Look at her go.
Change to something else, Merlin. Get bigger.
Quiet. Merlin's a caterpillar now. Maybe she won't see him.
But she's become a chicken. She's about to pick him.
Merlin, something huge.
He's a walrus.
But she's an elephant.
A mouse, Merlin. A mouse. That's right, Merlin. Scare her to death.
She'll think of something. I knew it. She's now a tiger. Look out, mouse. I mean, Merlin.
He's no mouse. He's a rhinoceros. Attaboy, Merlin.
I knew she'd cheat. She's a dragon.
No, Mim. No dragons. You remember?
Did I say no flame-breathing purple dragons? Did I?
No, but you couldn't.
Oh, I win! Game's over.
Where's Merlin? He's gone.
Oh, that horrible old witch.
Madam, I have not been defeated. I am very tiny. I am a germ, a rare dragon's disease, and you have caught a bad case of me.
A stroke of genius.
First, you will break out into spots, followed by hot and cold flashes, then violent sneezing.
Oh, you sneaky old scoundrel.
Choo. It's not too serious, madam. You should recover in a few weeks and be as good, that is, as bad as ever.
Far up in Scotland, there's a wild, eerie lake named Ness. Now, for years, many people have seen from time to time what they believe is a huge sea monster swimming in Loch Ness. Oh, we dragons know better, and this little song tells why.
Have you heard of the Loch Ness monster that swims in a Scottish lake? The tales they tell about him do really take the cake. They say in length he's 40 feet, his eyes all fierce and yellow. With horns and scales he comes complete, a very ugly fellow. There is a secret that I know about this apparition. I'll tell it to you if you wish, a dragon's his condition. No monster he, a dragon yet, who most enjoys just being wet. You can't blame him nor even laugh if in Loch Ness he takes his bath. A dragon's bath is old Loch Ness, nor was it ever any less. For dragons must be very clean if by the kids they are to be seen.
So, children, build yourself a dragon. I feel that no home should be without one. And perhaps if your imagination is very strong, and I'm very clean, you'll see me someday. Ta-ta!